Pierre is going to be doing his dissertation today, and he's coming through now to make his presentation. Take it away.
Hello everyone, I hope you're well. I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I am Pierre, and let's start. Development is something that a lot of people would argue to be natural, right? We all agree that development is something that's natural. Today I would like to challenge those who have that same belief and maybe go a step further. My subject today is very engaging, but for the sake of time, I'm going to stop the discussions. We're not going to discuss. Let me give my opinion to all of you. I would love for this to be a discussion, but allow me to give you my opinion before we start. And my subject today is development based on nature or nurture? Naturally, we need to understand what nature is first. I believe what we should talk about first is nature and what it means. According to Google, development is the process of developing or being developed, right? The process of developing or being developed. The second definition is an event constituting a new stage in a changing situation. Certain synonyms include growth, evolution, maturity. As a Christian young man, no, I don't believe in evolution, if that's what you're wondering. On the other hand, growth and maturity are all natural things that occur to everyone. We all grow, we all mature. We can all agree to that. Physically, we develop. Intellectually, we develop. It is natural, but please don't get lost here. What we're talking about is nature, and we have to understand what is nature in this particular case. Nature, according to Google, once again, is the phenomena of the physical world collectively, including plants, animals, the landscape, and other features and products as anything. Basically, I simplified it and said nature is anything that was made by God directly, right? We see animals, we see plants, we see trees, we look around, we see rocks. All of those were created by God Himself, nothing made by man. And basically, what this means is that nature has a role. Nature has its own role. Our environment has its own role. How does that now affect our development, as human beings, as we grow, right? In Job 12, verse 7 to 10, Job is speaking to one of his friends and says, "But ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In His hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind." So here Job is saying, look, everything was made by God. He is capable of anything. His hand is above everything. He can create. He's the one who creates. He's the one that does, and He's the one who can do anything. Whatever He chooses happens. Whatever He says happens. And when He explains it like that, what comes to mind to me is, oh my God, wow, okay. So God created nature, and nature is able to teach me. So if nature is able to teach us something, that means that nature is a really, really great teacher. I think we can all agree to that. A really, really great teacher. Because if something can teach you about God, that is a great teacher. So basically, I, for one, agree that nature or our environment, our surrounding, is what helps us develop. Or basically, the basis of our development is based on nature, our environment. That is my belief. Why? Because it's a common quote. You can take a boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homie. Hope you guys get that. Or even, you can tell me where you are, and I will know where you're going. Do you understand that? Basically, I see where you're living, I see where you grew up, who you're surrounding yourself with, and I know exactly where you're going to. But then there comes a little problem, because nurture is, I don't want to say as important, but holds a certain importance as well. Why? Because in some particular cases, I'm pretty sure we've all watched a few gangster movies here, you know, sorry for this, but mainly in America, where the black dude is in the hood. The black dude is in the hood, and I'm wearing the do-rag just to amplify, as we just learned, right? The black dude is in the hood and he's wearing the do-rag, and you know, all these homies are there and they're like, hey bro, what you doing, man? You good? Hey man, I'm good. What about you? Hey man, we just chilling. What we doing right now? Ah man, we just smoking some weed, bro. You want some? So what's the dude gonna say? He's gonna be, there's two choices there. Either he says, you know what man, pass me the blunt, man, let me hit that. And he hits the blunt. Or because of nurture, because of his parents, you know, this has nothing to do particularly with his environment, but now how he was brought up, you know. If at home, his mother told him or his father told him, look, this is not good because of this, and this, there are chances that he will fall and backslide and be like, you know what, whatever they say, it doesn't really matter. Or if he was properly nurtured by his parents and they taught him things correctly and educated him well, something behind his head is going to tell him, you know what, maybe I just shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should just, you know, let that slide. And he's going to tell his homies, you know what, bro, I'm good, man, you know, I'm good. And they're probably going to be like, ah, man, you gotta pass this kid. Why are you acting like this? And he's going to say, hey, it's me. It takes a lot of courage, though, and a lot of strength to stick to your principles. It takes a lot of strength to stick to your principles. When you're nurtured in a good, when you're nurtured by someone who is, let me say, nurturing you well, there's a greater chance that you can adhere to those principles and always walk according to those principles. But then again, your environment plays a huge role. Because how many of us here have done something that we know we weren't supposed to do? Because mama said don't do it, your dad said don't do it. But then, just because of that little moment, you backslided and you fell and you did it, you know? But it doesn't change the fact that your principles didn't change. Do you see where I'm going there? It doesn't change the fact that your principles are still the same. Look, for instance, I don't drink. I don't believe in alcohol, right? It's not my thing. It's not for me, right? Because I was taught, look, you can drink, but then it won't, this is what it will bring. These are the pros and these are the cons, right? And because of that, I was like, okay, I can make my own choice. Obviously, my mother was more, just don't do it. But then she also explained to me why. And because of that nurturing, I grew up thinking, you know what, it's not important to me. I don't need it. When I was with friends would tell me, hey bro, you know, let's hit it. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not going to lie and say that I never did. I did do at some times, but at some point. But then what saved me was really the fact that that little voice behind my head was telling me, hey look, don't do this, you know, you don't do this, your principles don't align to what is happening here. So what do I end up doing? I end up not falling or backsliding into that mistake that doesn't go according to my principle. So in conclusion, what I believe is that nature is the basis of our development. Nature is the basis of our development. Nurture is what I'd like to say amplify or add on to that. Do you understand what I mean? Because if you were raised in a great environment, there are so many chances of you actually being great. But then at the same time, if you were raised in a great environment, but the people nurturing you were nonsense, you're probably going to backslide. You probably are going to backslide. But then if the equation is different, the environment you were in and your nurturing was as great, then you have more possibilities of becoming a great person. It's just easy math, really. Just have to go to school for that, or you can just understand that. Now I'm joking. So yeah, that was my speech. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you.
So if nature is the primary driving factor of development,
Alright.
then how is it that people learn to be more than what their nature is? like if nature is the driving factor, out flux, nothing but flux, right? That means I'm hardwired to do or be a specific thing. How can we change?
That answer was actually in my speech, but then I completely forgot to talk about it. You never in your life will you stay in one place, right? You can all agree to that. You will never stay in one place. You can say that, look, I'm a shy person, I'm timid, I stay home a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stay home each and every single day. You go to school, you go to church, you go, if you do any sports, you're going to that place. You pick up everything. Why? Because wherever you go, you look around, you learn. Wherever you go, you look around, you learn. If the people around you at that very place are good people, you're gonna take that in. Do you understand what I mean? So basically, that's what influences change when it comes to nature or your environment. The fact that you go to a lot of different places. Now, the difficult part there is whether you choose to change because of your environment. What I mean by that is, you can go somewhere and know that this place is not teaching you anything great. Do you understand what I mean? It's not teaching you anything great. Now, it takes an intelligent person and a person who really wants to go, has a certain goal, I want to say, to discern whether or not to actually let the place affect them or not. So I can say, look, I'm in a great place here and I want to learn from this place. I want to take as much as I can. So therefore I'm going to learn and I'm going to apply what I've learned here. Or you can go, you can just say, you know what, this place is